Recently, I had the opportunity to travel to Mars. I spent years of training at NASA, as much preparation as I had for space travel and living on the red planet. The hardest challenge that I personally faced was something very unexpected. That challenge was my mental health. There are many specific challenges relating to mental health that we had never thought of before I left, one including the amount of sun we get on Mars and how that affects our brains and our moods. On Mars, there is half the amount of sunshine than what we get on Earth, and it's scientifically proven that when we hit daylight savings in the winter and autumn seasons, we naturally get more depressed. It's called seasonal affective disorder, or SAD, because of the lack of sunlight we take in. With the lack of our most important energy source, it already added on to the pile of mental illnesses I was already experiencing. Another part that toyed with my mental health was the complete silence there was on Mars. It's hard to explain the true feeling, but if you have ever been in a soundproof room that is extremely close to how everything sounds without the noise we have up there on Mars, there's absolutely no sound whatsoever, and the only thing you can hear is the occasional sound of the technology and your own heartbeat. Whenever humans are faced with complete and utter silence, our brains tend to play auditory hallucinations on us, making us hear sounds that aren't actually there, which is extremely anxiety-inducing. Over time, it is possible to get over and get used to all these auditory hallucinations, but there are still terrifying moments where the silence is violent to our mind. Similar to silence, the lack of communication is extremely isolating, playing a big part in our mental state. It's hard to imagine total isolation on Mars. A similar comparison would be totally confined in one room with no social interaction. Whenever humans are put in a situation like so, we tend to feel moments of anxiety. Yes, there are ways of connecting down to Earth. When it takes around 3 to 24 minutes to even reach Earth, it is best used for emergencies only, which is what we are taught to do. Finally, there was one big shocking moment I had after my expedition to Mars. It was unexpected how I would react to the amount of interaction and social communication I received. Although it was expected to get many coming up to me and asking what it's like to live on Mars, but after being isolated for so long on the red planet, it was hard to adapt to the insane amount of questions, attention, and social interaction I received. Taking all of these points on what it would be like to live on Mars and struggle with mental health, I feel as though NASA should take more of their time and focus on mental health of astronauts traveling to Mars.